You're sitting in something that looks like a racing car, but there are no wheels, no track, no roads. And then, suddenly, you lift off the ground. You're flying. That's not science fiction anymore. It's real, and it's called the Jetson One, a personal electric flying vehicle that looks like something between a drone and a Formula One car. In this video, we're going to explore what the Jetson One really is, how it works, who built it, and why people are calling it the flying Formula One car. Let's get into it. The Jetson One is a single-seat electric aircraft. That means it's built for one person, and it uses electricity, not gas, to power its motors and propellers. It's part of a growing category of vehicles called eVTOLs, which stands for electric vertical takeoff and landing. That's just a fancy way of saying it can lift straight off the ground, fly, then land vertically, like a helicopter, but smaller, cleaner, and easier to fly. So who made this thing? The Jetson One was developed by a Swedish company called Jetson, founded by two guys, Tomas Patan and Peter Turnstrom. Their goal was simple. They wanted to make flying personal. Not big jets, not helicopters, just something small and simple that almost anyone could fly. And honestly, they're pretty far along. Let's talk about the design. The Jetson One is built with an aluminum space frame. That's a type of lightweight but strong metal frame used in things like racing cars and aircraft. It's open on top, so when you sit in it, you're not in a cabin or enclosed pod. It's just you strapped in with a racing harness and a set of controls in front of you. It has 8 electric motors, each with its own propeller. The props are arranged around the seat in a square shape, 4 on the left, 4 on the right. This gives the Jetson One a lot of lift, stability, and safety. If one motor fails, the other 7 can still keep you flying safely. The entire vehicle weighs about 86 kilograms, which is just under 190 pounds. And it can carry a person who weighs up to 95 kilograms, or around 210 pounds. Flight time? Right now, it's around 20 minutes per charge. That might not sound like much, but for short flights, test rides, and learning how to fly, it's actually pretty good. Plus, electric batteries are improving fast, so we could see longer flight times in future versions. How fast does it go? The Jetson One can fly at speeds of up to 102 kilometers per hour. That's about 63 miles per hour. That's fast, especially when you're just a few meters off the ground. It's not quite Formula One car speed, but the feeling of flight makes it feel even faster. And here's something cool. It's controlled kind of like a drone, but from inside. The pilot uses a joystick on the right to control direction and speed. On the left, there's a throttle to go up or down. The controls are surprisingly simple, and the software does a lot of the hard work in the background, like balancing the vehicle and adjusting the motors constantly to keep everything stable. So no, you don't need to be a pilot to fly this. In fact, that's one of the biggest goals of the Jetson team. They want it to feel accessible, not like flying a plane, more like riding a bike or playing a video game, only now you're flying through the air. Let's talk safety, because flying anything comes with risk. The Jetson One has a redundant system, which means it's built so that if one motor fails, others pick up the slack. It also has a LiDAR sensor, which scans the ground to help avoid obstacles and maintain a safe altitude. And yes, it even comes with a ballistic parachute system. That means if something goes seriously wrong, you can deploy a parachute that gently brings the whole aircraft down. That's the kind of safety feature you usually only find in real aircraft. So it's clear they're not taking shortcuts. But is it legal to fly one? Well, that depends on where you live. In the United States, the Jetson One falls under the ultralight aircraft category. That means you don't need a pilot's license to fly it, but there are restrictions. For example, you can't fly it over cities or congested areas. It's mainly allowed in open spaces, rural land, and private property. Other countries have different rules, and Jetson is working with regulators to make the aircraft more widely approved. So how much does it cost? The Jetson One is priced at $98,000. Yes, it's expensive, but for a real flying machine that you can buy today, it's surprisingly reasonable, and demand is high. Jetson has already sold out production slots for multiple years ahead. People from all over the world have put down deposits. Some are tech lovers, some are thrill seekers. Others just want to be part of something that feels like the future. Let's pause here and just think about that for a second. We've been dreaming about flying cars for decades. In movies, books, and cartoons, people imagined a future where you could take off from your driveway and fly to work. We're not quite there yet, but with things like the Jetson One, we're getting closer. Not flying taxis, not commercial planes, but personal flying machines. built to be small, electric, and simple enough for non-pilots to enjoy. And yes, it looks like a Formula One car with propellers. That's why people keep calling it the flying F1 car, because it's light, fast, and open. When you see one in flight, it almost looks like a racing drone, but there's a real person inside. You don't just sit and watch, it's you in the driver's seat. So what's it like to actually fly? Test pilots say the feeling is hard to describe. It's quiet, smooth. You lift straight off the ground. There's no runway, no noise from an engine. Just the hum of rotors and the wind in your face. It's peaceful, but also exciting. You feel weightless, free. And because you're only flying 10 or 20 feet above the ground, it's not like being in a jet. It's more like skimming the earth, floating just above the trees or grass. You can hover in place, turn in any direction, rise or fall instantly. It's not just transportation, it's an experience. And right now, that's what the Jetson One is really offering. It's not meant for getting to work or replacing your car. Not yet. It's about giving people a new kind of freedom. Freedom to fly, for fun, for learning, for adventure. Now let's look deeper. What's it made of? How is it built? And where is this all heading? Let's start with the structure. As we said before, the Jetson One uses a lightweight aluminum space frame. This is the same type of structure used in Formula One cars and aircraft. Why? Because it's light, but it's also strong. And that balance between weight and strength is everything in flight. On top of the frame are 8 rotors, each powered by its own electric motor. The motors are brushless, meaning they have fewer moving parts, less friction, and less need for maintenance. Each motor is connected to an independent electronic speed controller, which allows the Jetson One to adjust power to each rotor individually in real time. That's what keeps it stable in the air. If wind hits one side, or if the pilot shifts their weight, the flight computer adjusts the motors instantly to keep everything level. You don't feel the computer working, but it is. The battery is a lithium-ion pack, custom designed for the Jetson One. It's not as big as the battery in an electric car, but it has to be powerful and light. That's a hard balance to get right. Right now, it gives you about 20 minutes of flight time, depending on your weight, flying conditions, and how fast you're going. If you fly gently, you'll get closer to the full time. If you push it to full speed the whole time, it might be a bit shorter. Recharging the battery takes about 1 to 2 hours, using a standard charging station. And because the battery is modular, future upgrades or replacements are possible. Now let's talk a bit about safety again, because when people hear flying car, their first thought is usually, is it safe? Jetson has built several safety features into the Jetson One. First, the octocopter layout, 8 motors instead of 4, means it can still fly if one fails. That's a big deal. It gives you a level of backup. That kind of backup, being able to keep flying even if one motor goes down, is a big part of what makes the Jetson One safer than you might expect. On top of that, there's the ballistic parachute system. This isn't a parachute you wear, it's built into the aircraft. If there's a total system failure, the parachute can deploy and bring the entire Jetson One down gently. It's a feature you usually find in larger light aircraft, so seeing it in a personal flying machine is impressive. Then there's the LiDAR-based terrain sensor. It scans the ground while you fly and helps prevent you from crashing into hills, trees, or uneven land. It's like a built-in eye helping you avoid accidents, especially during landing. And the frame itself? It's designed to absorb impact energy. So in case of a hard landing, the structure is made to crumple in a way that protects the pilot as much as possible. Now, all of these safety features are important, but flying still comes with risks. That's why Jetson recommends that you only fly the Jetson One in open, controlled spaces, away from people, roads, or buildings. Think of it like flying a small aircraft. You don't take off in a busy area. You fly where it's safe. So who is this for? Right now, the Jetson One is mainly for enthusiasts, people who love new technology, flying, and adventure. It's not meant to replace your car. It's not for city traffic. It's not ready for that yet. This is a recreational aircraft, something you fly for fun, for sport, or maybe even as part of training for a future where flying machines are more common. It's like how motorcycles started. At first, they weren't for everyone. They were for hobbyists, explorers, and risk-takers. Over time, they became more mainstream. Jetson hopes the same will happen with personal flight, And they're not the only ones working on this. There are other companies building personal flying vehicles, some like drones, some like small airplanes. But Jetson has become one of the most well-known because of how far they've already come. The Jetson One is not a concept. It exists, it flies, and it's being delivered to real customers. Let's talk about how it's made. Each Jetson One is built mostly by hand in Sweden. The company has kept production small on purpose so they can focus on quality and safety. Every unit goes through testing before it leaves the facility, and Jetson works closely with buyers to make sure they're trained and ready to fly safely. As of now, Jetson is planning to scale up production slowly. They're improving the software, refining the design, and looking into better battery options. The hope is to eventually bring down the cost, improve flight time, and make the Jetson One even easier to operate. So what's the big picture here? Well, it's not just about the Jetson One, it is about what it represents. For decades, people have imagined flying cars. Not just big machines in the sky, but small personal vehicles you could take out on your own. Something simple, something fun, something almost anyone could use. We're not all the way there yet, but the Jetson One is a real working step in that direction. It doesn't need a runway. It doesn't need a pilot's license in some countries. It's electric, it's small, and it's something you can actually buy. If you've got the money and space to fly it, it's also part of a bigger shift in transportation. More and more, we're looking at alternatives to cars and planes. We want greener travel, we want less traffic, we want freedom to move differently. Jetson isn't saying everyone will fly to work in 5 years, but they are proving that personal flight is no longer impossible. It's here, and it's getting better every year. In the future, we might see new versions with longer range, 2 seats instead of 1, or even autopilot systems. And maybe one day, just maybe, you'll see a flying machine like the Jetson One hovering outside someone's garage, ready for takeoff. But even now, it's something special. A single-person aircraft you can fly yourself. Lightweight, fast, and powered by clean energy. It looks futuristic, but it's already real, and that's kind of amazing. If you enjoyed learning about the Jetson One and want to see more real-world tech like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.